So tell me about the this book that you're reading, this fasting book. Tell me about it, because I
I
need to buy
finished
it.
reading this book, which is The Transformational Power of Fasting, by Stephen Bernard. I'm not exactly sure how you say his name. I probably said it wrong. But I read this book. This was the first book I read. And it was like amazing and changed my view of fasting, because it's about the spiritual, physical, emotional, like, reasons of fasting.
Yeah.
And about like why you should do it and making sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And when I read this book, I realized like I wasn't doing it for the right reasons necessarily. And one of the reasons that I was doing it initially when I started my fasting journey was for weight loss. And like weight loss as a goal for fasting is fine if you're overweight or you want to be more healthy, but I wasn't doing it to be more healthy. I was doing it because I believed that if I was slimmer and skinnier, that I'd be more loved, that people would love me more. So this book like helped me realize that, because it talks about basically setting goals for your fasting, and it has this list of questions for you to basically go through and ask yourself. So that was really amazing. Like I'm trying to get an example of one of the questions.
So like for me, like when I my first ever experience with fasting was just to fast before I did Kambo. So obviously Kambo being the secretion from a frog, and you put it into your bloodstream and it makes you purge. It's totally it doesn't make your mind do anything. It's not
loads of people think it's like makes you trip. Doesn't make
it doesn't make you trip, it just makes you purge. But in order to do that, I was told by like the shaman I had to fast. And it was a Thursday evening I was doing the session, so I had to wake up that morning and just not eat anything. And I found that kind of difficult, and it was only till the evening. And then I remember a friend of mine called Rasta J on Instagram. He was talking about a Hindu celebration called Ikadashi. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
Which means 11, and it's the 11th day in the lunar calendar, I believe, or the lunar cycle. And he was talking about it's a great day to fast, and basically just to either have just fruits or to have just water, and not to eat for basically a set amount of time, which is normally about 24 hours once a month. And I started doing that, and I think you've done a few Ikadashis, right?
Yeah, I was doing it with you at the start. I was definitely doing it at the start of, I can't remember when I was doing it, but I was doing it consistently, but then I haven't done it for a while now. Yeah, it's to do with like the moon phases, and yeah, it's really good, really good practice.
And obviously that practice brings in kind of more the spiritual aspect as well, because you know, you're aligning yourself apparently with the universe at a certain time. I like to think of it as like the angels or the mystic beings in the universe. It's like the veil is lifted on this day, and when your stomach is empty and your body isn't processing any food, you can have a better communion and communicate with the universe a lot more. It can, like, the universe can step into you a lot more.
Like this clear vessel for like your intuition and like messages to come through. Like for me, that's the like main thing that I feel when I'm fasting, is like that mental clarity that you get. It's so like you feel sharp, you feel like you have a little bit of detox depending on how long you do it. Like if you're just doing short fasts, maybe you have like an hour or two of detoxing or feeling a little bit unsteady, but after that you feel like the best you've ever felt.
You're definitely you go through because it makes, do you know what I realized when I first started is how much our bodies are programmed to believe that you need to eat. So like the morning comes and your body starts to grumble expecting food, and you ride that first wave. You might just lie in bed for 15 minutes feeling a little bit lightheaded. Lunchtime comes, the same thing happens, and dinner. But once you ride that first wave, you go into a very clear, it's almost like you're on some kind of class A drug. That's how I explain it. It's very clear, full of energy. And you also have this kind of profound sense of like, wow, like I'm in control of my body. My body is not in control of me, because I've just gone past what my body was talking to me, saying I need food, and I said no. And yeah, especially, and then obviously when you're doing that on Ikadashi, when the universe is aligned, it's very powerful.
Yeah, I read, so when I was in Portugal, I was reading the works of Arnold Ehret, and he is like the original Dr. Sebi. Like he's amazing, and he has a book called Rational Fasting and another one called The Mucusless Diet Healing System. And I started reading his works, and he was literally saying like breakfast is like the biggest con in our like society. Like it's not normal for people to eat before 10 o'clock. Like it's such a, like breakfast is not a natural thing for us to consume. And if you look in the media and like how we've had breakfast portrayed to us, they say it's the most important meal of the day. If you skip breakfast, you're going to get fat, like, and things like that. You actually put on weight if you skip breakfast. How the fuck, how does that make any sense, that skipping a meal would make you on weight? And if you look at all the breakfast foods, look at how bad all the breakfast foods are for you. Bread, gluten, cereals packed with sugar, milk, dairy. Like the breakfast foods that are branded for us are so bad.
Most people don't even realize it. Breakfast means break fast. You know, just that simple. When someone told me that, I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm guessing that kind of means to break the fast of since last night, right? Since you've had such a long period.
Yeah, so like a 12-hour or more, you've been fasting overnight, your body's detoxing. Like in the morning, the first thing you should be doing is drinking a huge glass of water. And if you are going to eat, it should be fruit.
Yeah.
It should just be fruit on its own. It shouldn't be fruit with yogurt, fruit with granola, whatever. Like it should just be fruit. So if you are eating, like, because fruit passes through the body so quickly and it's so cleansing, like when your body is like a clear vessel and you fasted, like that's the best thing for you to eat, because it's going to be the best for your body. Body's actually going to be able to take all the minerals, vitamins, everything from that fruit and process it like the way it should. So yeah, breakfast is definitely like a modern day thing that we've been like pushed.
Well, a lot of the things that we know, we have to unlearn in the West, because you know it's designed to make us ill. You know, I really want to encourage people to observe a fast with me on the 24th. I think it was like the 8th. I returned to Instagram and I did a fast, and I was documenting kind of my energy, and a lot of people were like, you know, I really want to try this. But I know that some people have a little bit of fear right now, thinking, is it actually safe or healthy? And so yeah, I just wanted to really bring you on, because I know that you have so much information about, you know, maybe more about the science of it. If you could just talk a little bit about like how you feel once you've observed a fast, and also what actually happens to the body.
Well, firstly, most people can fast for 40 days. Like if you just started now, you could fast for 40 days probably. The average person can, unless you're seriously sick and unhealthy and have a really bad diet. Right now, everyone can fast for 40 days. So doing 1 or 2 days is not gonna do any damage. But what people get scared of is, so people, if they don't know about fasting, they start fasting, they start feeling really bad, maybe like a day, 2 days in, depending on how long you do it. They start feeling really bad, and they think it's because they haven't eaten. And it's not because they haven't eaten, it's because the body is finally detoxing. So what they've experienced is the detox, and everything they've done in their body's trying to flush it out. It's not from eating. But what some people do is when they start feeling that, they eat.
Yeah.
And when they eat, their body stops detoxing, and so suddenly they feel better. So people think, oh, okay, I just needed to eat. I was feeling so rubbish because I hadn't eaten. That's not what it is. It's because the body then stops the detox processing. So, and that's like one of the worst things you can do on a fast. Like if you do a 5-day fast or something, day 3 is when the detox really starts happening. And this is like the best time your body's actually getting rid of everything. So if you eat and stop that, all this stuff is now in your circulation, and it hasn't actually got the chance to leave your body. So people get scared because they experience these detox systems. It's symptoms, and it's not from not eating, it's just from detoxing. But also like an amazing thing that happens when you fast for even 12 to like 24 hours is your body starts this process. It's called or I think I'm saying it right, autophagy. And it's basically, it literally translates to like cell eat cell. So basically all the good cells in your body, all the broken ones, all the damaged ones, all the old ones, your good cells start eating those bad cells. Yes. So your body is like literally renewing itself. So it's like amazing for anti-aging, amazing for just like general health, all of this kind of stuff.
I remember seeing Dick Gregory talking about this once, because he used to fast very militantly, and he said it's like when you comb your hair and you see the brush, there's hairs in the brush, and
what bad hairs, yeah.
But they're the dead hairs, and the body is just. And what happens is, like when you're fasting, the good cells, like you just said, it just eats away all the bad cells, the cancers, the problems. It just eats away at that, and it's not like the acid of your stomach eating away the walls of your stomach. It's not dangerous. It's literally how the body rejuvenates itself. So that's crazy. What was the word you said roughly? Is with the A?
Autophagy.
Autophagy.
AUTOFHAGY. Yeah, so it starts doing that. So it starts like basically doing a spring clean of your body and getting rid of all the crap and like rubbish cells and replacing them and with the healthy ones. So that starts happening. Even you don't have to do a long fast for that. That literally can happen when you do intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
So for people,
it's important to say that, because you was talking about, some 3-4 day fast, and that's when it can really start to get amazing for you. But even when you just observe 24 hours, which we're going to do on the 24th, your body goes through such a profound transformation just in them 24 hours. It doesn't have to be, such a long, me and you might do 3 or 4 days because we've been doing it for a few years, but
People think 24 hours sounds scary. 24 hours isn't even missing 3 meals. 24 hours is...
When you put it like that.
It's missing 2 meals. You have your breakfast, you have your lunch. Then say you start your fast at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You miss your dinner, you miss your breakfast, and then 3 o'clock the next day you eat. You're not even missing 1 whole day of eating. You're missing 2 meals. You can literally, like, when you start doing intermittent fasting and your body gets used to it, you'll find you literally naturally do 24-hour fast without even realizing it. Like, so 24 hours, anyone can do. And Arnold Ehret in his book says, even if you're really sick, you'll be able to do 2-day fast at least. Yeah, because it's really not a lot.
When you are sick, I've noticed when I've been ill, if I do fast, your body just feels amazing, because like you said, the bad cells just get eaten away quicker. Instead of because otherwise, our intestine, and especially depending on what you eat and stuff, our bodies are processing such heavy foods all the time, and that's why we can be like tired and stuff. So just to give your body a break for a moment,
that's what the 24-hour fast does. It gives you won't detox and experience those symptoms on a 24-hour fast unless you have a really, really, really horrendous diet. But your body and your digestive system will get a break.
Yeah.
Digestive system takes 12 hours to process food like properly, full way. If it takes 12 hours and we eat 3 meals a day, your body does not have enough time to process that.
Yeah.
And you get a backlog. You get clogged up. People are literally full of junk and like crap. And so when you take that 24 hours, you give your body some time to rest and to process all of that stuff that you've been putting into it.
Yeah.
And think about how much energy the digestive system uses up. It literally starts from like the top of your body to the bottom, and it's constantly working and doing something, especially if you're eating bad foods. Like your body's working overtime to deal with those things. So when you fast and give your body a rest and it's not working the digestive system, suddenly your body has all this energy to either use for like creativity, like other things, exercise, and your body has this energy and it can go to healing.
Wow.
So your body will start healing parts that are having issues that it wasn't able to deal with before because it was too busy like digesting food. So
that's it. When you explain it, it's just so simple. That's the simple. Let's not think about the spiritual or even the science. It's just literally giving your body a break, and especially if I think meat, isn't it? It's like 36 hours maybe. Fish is 12. Like
Yeah.
fruit, I think, goes through us in 4 hours. So
fruit digests really quickly. That's why you should always eat it on like an empty stomach, and you shouldn't eat it with other foods. So yeah, fruit digests incredibly quickly, like compared to all these other foods. And fruit is the only like the food that doesn't form like mucus in the body. All other foods, grains, meat, fish, dairy, all of this, it causes mucus in the body, and this is like
all the things I love.
Illness. Yeah. Yeah.
What's your diet like? Do you label yourself, or do you just eat what you feel you need to?
Not anymore. So I've been vegetarian most of my life, because I decided to be vegetarian when I was like 6 years old. And then there was a period where I ate meat again when I was a teenager, and then I went back to being a vegetarian. And then after that, I was like, well, you'll know, I was like a militant vegan, like really, really strong. And then I got really into like the health side. Like I wasn't a vegan who ate loads of junk. I got really into like being super healthy, mostly eating fruit. But I've always gone through periods of like up and down with my diet. But when I went traveling in 2019, and I was traveling around Asia, although Asia has like amazing vegetarian and vegan food, I just found it too, like when I was going out to eat, I would never ever eat meat or fish, like never. But sometimes I'd go out to eat and I'd be served a meal and it would have maybe like egg noodles in or something, and I'd think like, I can't, like I'm just going to eat this person's made this meal for me. Like, so I wouldn't go and out and like eat a cheese sandwich or something like that, but if something's in my food and it's being served to me, like I'll just eat it. I won't go and buy cheese and eggs and like these things myself and cook them myself, but if somebody else is cooking them for me, like my mom's an amazing baker, like if she's made a carrot cake and it has a bit of egg in it, like I'm just still going to eat it, because I don't know, a lot of people wouldn't.
You're flexible, basically.
Yeah, I'm flexible. I would literally never eat meat or fish, and I do keep meaning to go back to how good I was with my plant-based diet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just not as like strict as I was with it. Yeah, okay. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't really like having a label anymore, because it's like if you've been vegan 20 years and then you accidentally eat a piece of cheese, what, are you not a vegan anymore? Like,
how many vegans I know that have like leather sofas and stuff, and
exactly.
They don't realize that, you know, apparently vegan actually is a lifestyle. It's not just to do with the diet. So you know, they'll be talking about like save the animals while wearing leather Dr. Martens. So it's just about honoring what your body needs. And like right now, you know, you're to me a trailblazer in this whole field of health and being healthy. And I
think it's just about being honest as well. I see so many people's Instagram that's just like one-sided.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they act like all they eat all day is this and that, and then I've met them in person or whatever, and they're not like that at all. You know, it's so like, I'm just not with the fakeness. Like, just be honest and just.
It's like, I don't know if you saw on my Instagram yesterday, I had loads of prawns and I was like pretending that the prawns were alive, and I'm just like, I'm real with it, man. I know what I'm doing, and I have to be honest and truthful, you know. And by being authentic, people actually reflect to us naturally, instead of going, this is the way it has to be, man, save the world, like it's too much.
Yeah, and I don't like, yeah, I just think people shouldn't, like, especially in like COVID times, what I've seen is a lot of people who claim to know things, and it's like, how can you, like, I don't know, especially like I experienced this in Portugal, like people talking about, I don't know what's going to happen in the next year, and it's like nobody knows. And so many of these people who have said these things, they've said like the 21st of December, like I don't know if you were like aware of that date, but that was like a really big deal for a lot of people, and a lot of people saying something really big.
Aquarius, yeah, it's a big thing.
people were claiming that this is going to happen, and then nothing. Obviously, yeah, we moved into the age of Aquarius, blah blah blah, but nothing really like big happened. And no one wants to put their hands up and say, oh, you know what, I was wrong, like that didn't happen. Like people just, yeah. And I think it's the same with like food. Not the same diet works for everyone. You have to find what works with your natural rhythms and your bodies. Like it's really unfair to ask a person who lives in, say, Iceland, where they have like really no like fruit and stuff like this, to be a vegan. Like it would be very hard to be a vegan in Iceland. Like their diet is mostly fish. Like they're a very small cold island. Like they have trouble like growing vegetables and fruit. Like all of that stuff is imported. That's why it's so expensive there. So it's like, how can, you know, being able to choose your diet is a privilege that not everybody is able to.
I love what you just said. Being able to choose your diet is a privilege, and it really is. And it's maybe a privilege of these first world countries that we're in. Do you think you can choose your diet when you're living in a metal shed? You know, so we actually have the opportunity to really be able to explore our spirituality and our biology, and to be free. And we're not on the very edge of survival mode like maybe some people are in other parts of the world. That just really hit me. We have the, what was that? We have the choice to.
We have the privilege to choose our diet. Yeah. And it is a privilege. I can afford to go to the shops and buy like spirulina and these kind of nice things, you know, but not everybody can.
Yeah. There ain't no spirulina in Lidl, boy. Trust me. And so I'll be there though soon. But yeah, it's wow.
But this is why fasting is so great though, because fasting don't need any money. You know, you just need discipline to do fasting. That's why it's so great, and that's why it's a tool that everybody should have available to them. Because like when I'm traveling, if I'm in an airport and all there is around me is like Burger King or like whatever, I can just say, it's cool, like I'm gonna fast, like, and wait till I have some.
It's funny you said that, man. I'll round it up with a quick story of when this is the moment I realized how powerful I was as a sentient being, and I'd controlled my biology. And so I used to fast whenever there was a full moon or a new moon. This is before I knew about Indigoochild and fasting the 11th day after the new moon, apparently. So it was like a full moon, and I had booked a job on the day to go to Milan. And I was like, all right, cool. But I'd already started to fast. And I don't have much money. And normally when I'm in an airport, I don't have much money, and I'm desperate just to go into Wetherspoons and get like a little breakfast. And this one time I happened to have hundreds of pounds in my account, and I'm sitting in the airport, and I decided I'm not gonna eat nothing. And in the airport is the environment, everyone's stuffing their face. It's like gluttony, isn't it? It's like greedy energy. Everyone's just eating so much. And I was sitting there, and I went past the hungry feeling, and suddenly I went into a very clear state. Obviously my vibration must have lifted, where I was just empty, and the universe had kind of maybe stepped into my space a bit. And I remember going to Milan, I did the job, flew back, hadn't ate nothing. It was like 48 hours. And in that moment, I realized, whoa, you know, this is a tool that I'm going to be able to use for the rest of my life. You know, me and 5 AM, my company, we're about to do a job on the day of Indigoochild, the 24th, and all 3 of us are going to fast. And I just said to watch the clients are going to want to book us straight away, because we are going to be vibrating so high. You know, when you're fasting as well, it's like, let's get the job done. There's no time to like the boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you're not thinking about food. You're not eating, preparing, sorting out food. You have all this time like available to you. It's so great.
Yeah. What would you say? Just to round this up, to give encouragement to like, so the most ordinary brothers in the ends, people that are about to step into this for the first time? I've got a lot of friends that are, for instance, Muslim, and they've done fasts with Ramadan? Is it Ramadan?
Yeah, Ramadan.
So they've done that, but obviously this is taking it to the next level. This isn't just fasting when the sun's up. This is the whole 24 hours, and maybe if you want to push it with me, 48. So yeah, any words of encouragement just to the most ordinary people?
You can do as much research, and people can tell you as much about this kind of stuff as you want. If you look for stuff to support it, you'll find stuff. If you look for stuff against fasting, you'll find it. The best thing you can do, you have a body to experiment with for what feels good for you. If you don't like it, that was 24 hours of your life you don't have to do again. But think about the potential of what you could unlock by just trying it.
Wow.
By just trying it. And also, fasting is not a new thing. It's not a trend. It's something we've done since the beginning of time. In all religions, there is some kind of fasting practice. If, regardless of what your beliefs are about the world, if we were cavemen, cave women, whatever, we would have gone through periods of fasting and famine, and we would have gone through periods of like feasting. So our bodies are designed to be able to fast. As I said, the average person, if they started a fast today, could go on to fast for 40 days. So just try it, because what's the worst that can happen? And the only way you can truly know something is for when you try it yourself and experience it yourself. I can sit here and tell you how amazing fasting is and what it's done for me, or you could just try it for 24 hours and see. And if you don't like it, you never have to do it again. But think about all the things you could unlock. You know, we're designed to fast, and just doing it, you're gonna feel so amazing, and so much stuff is going to come through. So you have this body to experiment with, so just try it. Yeah. It's literally all there is. Like,
create the action and create the cause just to make it happen. And I know that, you know, anyone watching this, I'm sure you'll be there to support if in the DMs or anything, you know. I'm there.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we're doing it together, and also you don't have to just do it on the 24th. And apparently a beautiful day to fast, if you ever just want to do it, is the day that you was born. So the actual day that you was born on is a great day to fast, apparently. So like for me, it was a Monday. So like if I ever wanted to fast, I'll just do it. I'll take a day off. You know, I smoke and I don't eat the best diet. So I really want to try and do at least once a month, you know, or and more. And then moving forward, I want to try and do like maybe a week just on water. And kind of push it, but like you said, everyone just needs to follow their own instinct and biology.
Yeah, for sure. And just try it. Like you can like people do this thing where they just research and then they never get around to trying it. It's like self-help books. You read all these self-help books, but are you actually implementing it? You know, just try it. Stop kind of learning about it and just do it and feel that have the experience yourself. And once you've done it, you know, we're just humans, like collecting experiences. It's like once you've done one 24-hour fast, you will never ever be someone who's not fasted again. You will always be that person who's fasted for a day. You know, we're just collecting this experiences. You'll never be someone who's not fasted, you know.
So challenge yourself, you know. Like you said, it does take a bit of discipline, and hopefully everything you said about
it's a mental thing, isn't it?
It's a mental thing, and just be prepared for some belly rumbles maybe for the first few hours, but know exactly what it is.
Belly rumble is a sigh of relief. It's not asking for more food. Yes. When your belly rumbles, it's a sigh of relief, saying, and it's processing. So when you hear that rumble, it's a good thing. It's like
when my stomach rumbles, I just literally, I envision all the bad cancers or problems that could be manifesting, just being eaten away and like eroding. So it's again, it's your perception. If you think it's a negative thing, it's going to be negative. If you know this is a very benevolent, positive thing happening right now, you're winning.
And don't make it hell before you've done it. You know, some people are like, it's going to be so hard. It's going to be so difficult. Like you're already making it hell before you've even done it. Just go into it with an open mind, a positive mind, say some positive affirmations, drink plenty of water, and you'll be fine. You'll be really fine. And like, there's loads of people out there to like help you and support you.
You're incredible, and thank you for all the work you've done. You know, you've had to be a trailblazer, stand on your own, and do a lot of this, no doubt.
And I'm type 1 diabetic. Like I've been told I could not fast by doctors, and this year I fasted for 5 days, no food.
And we was told you couldn't do Kambo, and you were straight there puking right beside me.
Yeah, I've been told I can't do this, I can't do that. Yeah, just do it, just try it. This is what I'm saying. You can research, but until you try it, you won't know. So. Yeah.
Let's win.